Hello, I'm Ken Winnell, Co-Chief Executive Officer for the Nexus Digital Group. We are a small consultancy that is focused on providing our clients with business strategy, development, and applications, all designed to enhance and grow the business, usually in the mid-market space. We started the company back in 2022 during the height of the pandemic when we recognized that things were changing and that fractional leadership and the ability to actually, have some seasoned professionals available to companies rather than full-time hires seemed to make more sense. Our focus has largely been in the healthcare space and the retail and consumer packaged goods space. However, we also have done some stuff with e-commerce and with manufacturing. So that's a little bit about us. Some of the questions, I'm so thrilled and honored to be selected by Executive Lens magazine to be one of the innovative technology leaders for 2025, and it's been great. They've sent me over a couple of questions, so I'm going to answer them as best I can. First is, what drives me every day to exceed in my role? I am fascinated by how technology can be used in business every day. I understand that we take some of these tools for granted, such as productivity tools and things that we use when we converse and communicate with our friends and colleagues. However, technology is offering us insights and abilities that we've never had before as a business. And so being able to understand how to leverage technology as a weapon and how to beat your competition is something that I take a personal interest in. I believe it's really important to have the to not be stagnant and to be able to grow and expand your opportunities by leveraging these kind of tools. Can I share one moment in my career that shaped who I am today? Yes, there were a couple of different moments, but we'll start with one. I was in the United States Air Force serving proudly as an avionics technician. And the F-16 was my aircraft that I was working on for weapons delivery and accuracy. And I will never forget that, there was a test that we were running to make sure that we could deliver something very accurately, and it needed to be within 30 yards of a target. And we had some software that was, let's say, less than optimal. And the 30 yards was more like 100 yards, and obviously that's not accurate enough. And I had gone and trained myself in programming and made sure that I could understand how the code was working and stepping through that to really diagnose and see what was going wrong. There was never a better sense of satisfaction when we hit that target spot on, zero, like a 30-yard target. I was right dead center. It was a bullseye. And I said, wow, that's something I did because I made that change. And so that was really exciting moment for me. How do you ensure your work creates a meaningful impact on your team or community? That is the $100,000 question. We don't take on work unless it's impactful. There has to be a return on the investment. There has to be something that people get out of the work that we do. We don't do make work, and we don't like to do things that are just, build this wall and help us deploy Office 365 in our environment. That's not who we are. We are not an MSP. We are a consulting group. We are a strategy group. We can help you understand how to leverage these tools, but we don't want to deploy them. That's not something we do. We do have a sister organization that does development for us, and they are offshore. They are excellent, but we do feel like our role is to help guide and not have the hands and feet on things. What message do I want to share with others for aiming for success? I think the best advice I could give to anybody is you have to love what you do. I can't get enough information about artificial intelligence these days. Why? Because I've become a thought leader in it. I've been on top of these platforms and tools as they've been deployed and developing. I've been participating in numerous discussions, and working with colleagues has been an amazing collaborative effort. And I think that passion is contagious. And as you start to see the potential, and I'll give some examples here. The example being, okay, so AI in your everyday work, you might use ChatGPT. But eventually, if you're a factory worker, your job could be threatened because a humanoid robot with AI might be able to do the same repetitive tasks that you're currently doing today. How does that work? How does that impact you? I think you need to really think those things through. And I think you have to really understand these are morphing. And The passion that I have about anticipating that and empathy for the people that it's going to affect is critical. We need to keep that in mind. We can't just say, okay, this is a great technology, it's going to replace everybody. It's not. But people who understand the technology will replace the people who don't. That's a key fact. What's the one lesson from your journey that has stayed with me? Um, Honestly, the best advice and lesson I've learned has been that know your own faults and your limits. Uh, I sometimes I get a little too future faced and I can lose sight of the key objective. And I've learned to temper that down now. And I think those are important facets to, be in mind and be humble. And then lastly, the last question was my experience with the Executive Lens. I have to tell you, we never heard of the Executive Lens magazine before. And then at some point we engaged with them and they've been nothing but great to work with. They have given us great article insight of how to produce the article and the cover stories. And